The hallway was silent, too silent. Mr. Grant Whitmore, billionaire tech mogul and father of two, loosened his tie as he stepped into his mansion after a long day of back-to-back meetings. His voice echoed as he called out, "Sebastian? Ava?" No answer. Strange. At this time, the children were usually screaming, fighting, or tormenting whatever poor soul had signed up to be their new nanny. In the last year, he'd gone through 9 nannies, each one quitting in frustration, fear, or tears. Grant headed toward the living room, expecting another disaster. But what he saw stopped him cold. There, curled on the floor beside the fireplace, was her? Miriam. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and share this video with someone who believes that love and patience can heal even the hardest hearts. Where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to know. See you in the next story. The nanny he had personally rejected when she came for the interview last week. She'd been hired behind his back by the house manager out of desperation. A black woman in her 40s. She had come in quietly, without flair or credentials from elite agencies. Grant didn't like her. Said she wasn't a good fit for his kids. He didn't think she had the look or refinement to handle his home. And yet, there she was, with his kids. Sebastian, the 8-year-old menace, was laughing. Genuinely. Not that mocking, sarcastic tone he used with the last nanny. And Ava, 6 years old and normally cold as ice, was resting her head on Miriam's lap, eyes half closed as a woman hummed softly and braided her curls. Grant stood frozen, confused, even a bit offended. "Excuse me," he said, stepping forward, arms crossed. "What's going on here?" Ava stirred but didn't move. Miriam looked up, unfazed. "Just story time," she said with a calm, polite smile. "They've had a long day." Grant raised an eyebrow. "You're still here?" "I was asked to stay on trial for the week." "I didn't approve that," he snapped. "No, sir," she said quietly. "You didn't." He expected her to stammer, apologize, pack up and leave, but she didn't. She went back to humming, gently finishing Ava's braid, as though she had nothing to prove. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and share this video with a friend. Tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We love seeing how far our stories travel. Later that night, Grant reviewed the nanny cam footage. He saw Miriam calmly picking up Ava's thrown crayons, helping Sebastian with his homework, singing lullabies when neither child could sleep. She didn't raise her voice once, but somehow the kids listened, respected her, loved her. It didn't make sense. The next morning, Grant joined them at breakfast, something he hadn't done in weeks. He sat quietly, watching. Ava fed the dog without a fuss. Sebastian said, "Please pass the jam." Miriam poured him a cup of tea without asking. He cleared his throat. "So, what did you do differently?" She looked at him, no judgment in her gaze. "I treated them like they mattered." He frowned. "Are you saying they didn't before?" "I'm saying they were lonely. Lonely kids act out." He wanted to fire her, wanted to say she was overstepping, but part of him knew she was right. Over the next few days, Grant observed quietly. One afternoon, he watched as Sebastian had a full-blown meltdown over a broken drone. The boy screamed, kicked, threw the pieces across the room. Miriam didn't scold him. She sat down beside him and said, "You're not bad. You're just hurt. And that's okay." Sebastian cried for the first time in front of an adult. That night, Grant didn't sleep. For years, he tried to fix his kids with toys, tutors, and top-tier nannies. But he never gave them time, connection, patience. Miriam, a woman he almost dismissed, had done in 3 days what others couldn't in 3 months. But not everyone in the house was pleased. The head chef complained, "She's getting too comfortable." The estate manager muttered, "She acts like she owns a place." One evening, Miriam found her room packed, bags at the door. "I was told my trial period's over," she said calmly. Grant stared at the suitcases, then at his children, who were both clinging to her legs, crying. "Who told you that?" he asked sharply. The manager stammered. "We thought it was best." Grant raised a hand. "No, I decide what's best, and she's staying." He knelt down, hugged his kids for the first time in a long while, and said, "From now on, you don't just have a nanny. You have someone who sees you." Months passed. Miriam became more than staff. She became family. She helped Ava face her fear of the dark, taught Sebastian how to bake banana bread. She even got Grant to take weekends off and sit through his son's soccer games. One evening, Miriam was in the kitchen humming while folding laundry. Grant leaned against the doorway, watching her. "You know," he said, "I judged you the second you walked in." She smiled. "I know. You proved me wrong." "I didn't come to prove anything. I came to care." He nodded. That's what made the difference. Sometimes, the greatest change comes from the people we almost ignore. Don't judge by background, accent, or appearance. True value lies in compassion, not polish. The world doesn't need more qualified strangers. It needs more kind, consistent hearts.